You may hear the abortion lobby say that maternal mortality is up to 14 times more for carrying a pregnancy to term as opposed to an abortion. But in absolute terms, the chances of dying from pregnancy is approximately 0.024%, which, let me be very clear, is unacceptable. It's too high of a rate. Before Dobbs or after Dobbs, it's too high. Let me also point out that more women ages 20 to 44 die each year from trauma, cancer, heart disease, suicide, homicide, liver disease, diabetes, and stroke than pregnancy-related complication. And finally this, please realize that HHS does not require actual reporting of abortion complications. While the abortion industry is quick to claim that eradicating all protections from the unborn is the only way to lower maternal mortality rates, abortion is not the solution to this crisis. Rather, the nation should focus on addressing the underlying causes that lead to maternal mortality. Here in our nation's capital, for example, has the fewest laws protecting life in the womb compared to the other 50 states, but its mortality rate of 36 per 100,000 means that women in D.C. are 50% more likely to die from pregnancy-related causes as women in the rest of the nation. For black mothers, the situation is even worse, and according to Maternal Mortality Report of 2019, black women accounted for 90% of all pregnancy-related deaths in the districts. The maternal mortality rate for black mothers in D.C. is 71 per 100,000, dwarfing, tripling the national average. And it's especially a problem here in D.C. wards 7 and 8. If I describe this particular geographical area, they have no hospitals with birth wards. They only have 3 grocery stores and drastically fewer pharmacies than the other wards. These are issues we can and must address. Each time we spend taxpayer dollars funding the abortion industry, we take away money and resources from providing real solutions for mothers and our nation's most valuable resource, our children. Ms. Swindwell, if you had a clinic in D.C. in this high mortality rate, how could you impact the maternal mortality rate?
Oh, we would definitely have an impact. Thank you for that question. You know, Stanton Healthcare, we are a nonprofit, life-affirming women's medical clinic. We don't charge for any of the services that we provide, and we have a very high focus on pre- and postnatal education, a very high focus on quality prenatal care, and then also putting together an individualized care plan for every woman who walks through our doors. And so we make sure that she has a solid support system, that she has all of the resources that she needs, that there is a plan in place. And our program runs the duration, it's 9 months of pregnancy, whatever that point is that she comes to our center, and then a minimum of 9 months after that. So it's an 18-month program, and it even goes beyond that. We have moms that come in that their children, their babies, their Stanton babies, as we call them, are 10 years old now, 5 years old, and they still come in, and we are that support and resource for them. So we're seeing very good results through our individualized care program. Again, it's that focus on pre- and postnatal education and good prenatal care.
Yeah, thank you for that answer. I want to keep on this topic of this ill-conceived concept about abortion being safer than pregnancy. You know, first of all, stating the obvious, the mortality rate for the unborn baby is almost 100% in abortions and very low in childbirth. We also believe that continuing pregnancy is very protective of the mother and child, particularly when we think about suicide rates of women that have had babies versus the abortion women that have had abortions. We think about even higher incidence of trauma and murder for women that have had abortions as opposed to women who have bore their pregnancy and had children. Do you see many problems with a post-abortion syndrome, emotional distress, suicidal because of the abortion?
Thank you, Senator. Yes, we do. In fact, Stanton Healthcare runs an after-abortion care program, that support program is always full. We have women that walk through our doors that are very traumatized after having abortion. Most women experience both short-term and long-term physical and emotional challenges after an abortion. In fact, studies show that 1 in 4 women that undergo an abortion express feelings of depression, anxiety, regret, things that follow along with that, substance abuse to try and numb the pain, hallucinations of their child, nightmares. Women experience things like being very stressed out at certain time on the clock, because that's when the baby, when the abortion happened and the baby was killed. And my own mother suffered from the pain of a past abortion. In fact, she only became suicidal after she had had an abortion. She was never suicidal before that. She also, may she rest in peace, passed away in 2016. But she always regretted her abortion, and she became a very big supporter of Stanton Healthcare so that other women wouldn't have to go through the same experience she did.
Thank you so much. I yield back.
Senator Haas, questions?
Yes, I'd like to ask a couple more questions if I could. Thank you so much, Madam Chair. Ms. Swindwell, for years, Planned Parenthood has claimed that they are not focused on abortion but provide a slate of services for women. Why then has Planned Parenthood closed a clinic in your home state of Idaho and has plans to do so in other states that have passed laws or plan to pass laws to prohibit abortions?
Great question, Senator. Yes, I think there's been at least 60 Planned Parenthoods and abortion clinics nationwide that have closed since the overturning of Roe v. Wade, which is interesting when you hear the argument that they are all about helping women and, providing all these other services, and abortion is just less than 3% of what they do. Well, then why are they closing all their clinics down? Wouldn't you want to stay open to help women, whatever they're going through with an unexpected pregnancy, and to help navigate the current climate, or perhaps provide all those other services that you claim to provide? So the reality is they are in the abortion business. That's what they want women to choose. And so I think that's being exposed right now. My home state of Idaho, yes, the Planned Parenthood in Boise, right next door to one of our Stanton Healthcare clinics, closed down. I do want to say that in Idaho, we have 8 pregnancy resource centers and life-affirming clinics throughout the state of Idaho. Now there are 2 Planned Parenthoods and I think maybe 1 other abortion clinic. So if anybody would like some helpful advice on how to have enough accessibility for women facing unexpected pregnancies, you can look to the Pregnancy Care Center movement and centers like Stanton. Again, nationwide, we outnumber abortion clinics 4 to 1. So if you want accessibility, look to us, look to what we're providing. And also, it makes the charges against our centers and wanting to shut us down. I think Senator Elizabeth Warren said, let's go after clinics like Stanton Healthcare with $100,000 fines to shut down what we're doing. So how can you want more care for women in one breath, abortion care, and explain all these scenarios where women are underserved and marginalized, and then go after the exact clinics that are providing those services very well in our nation?
That's great. Ms. Swindwell, my job is to be a voice for Kansans, and one of your jobs today is to be a voice for your patients.
Yes.
What would you like to share that if your patients were here today, what would you share with us that you would think would be important for senators to know?
Well, I would like to share with you, if I may, one of our client stories. She gave it to me, and I said I would do my best to share it. You have it in your written testimonies that I submitted. I just highlighted a few parts to save time, but if I may, this comes from a Stanton client, JC. I was in a very bad place in my life when I decided to get an abortion. My mom told me she wouldn't have anything to do with my baby. My boyfriend was a drug addict and causing abuse in my life and left me, and I was diagnosed with having severe panic attacks. I drove to Planned Parenthood and saw Stanton Healthcare across the parking lot. I went to Stanton Healthcare and found that they are a real clinic that helped me with everything I needed. They loved me and showed me I wasn't alone, gave me things I needed for my baby, counseling to get out of my life-threatening abusive relationship, and encouraged me that I could have a life with this baby. Seeing my daughter's heartbeat made me stop feeling the panic attacks that made me want to abort, and stop feeling the horrible nausea, and see my baby as a real person that I couldn't kill. It instantly made me feel attached to my baby and love her. I felt led to start my own business, and for the first time in my life, I can provide for my children on my own and have more than enough. They impacted my whole future and my children's future. I am so glad she is in this world now and in my life forever, because I was able to choose to keep her with Stanton's help. I thank God Stanton helped me get out of fear and choose life. My mother is in her life and happy I had her. It impacted her as well. My daughter has a sister, and I found a man that loves us all. All my fears were lies, and had I aborted my little girl, I know it would have caused me to carry shame and depression. Thank you, Stanton, for me and my baby. She has a future life because of you. This story to me is important. Number one, it shows the hope that a woman found, quality care and services, but it also shows that abortion isn't the solution. She got out of an abusive relationship. She got out of an economic situation where she was lower income. She was able to start her own company. The depression and the anxiety went away. This became a catalyst for hope in her life because she had the care and the support that she needed. 50 years of unfettered access to abortion has not solved broken systems. And throwing abortion at women does not fix their problems. What she found at Stanton Healthcare is what changed things in her life. Thank you.